Hello, and welcome back to some good old programming. Hope everyone's had a good day so far. Hope everyone's having a good one. Oh, for God's sakes. Just sit still. There we go. I've been having a interesting morning, sorting out a bunch of little technical problems that I hate. I hate whenever it happens. Sorry, that's me. God damn it. I was trying to fix something on my mouse and trigger the thing. Anyway, yeah, so had a lot of fun because updating to the new IDE of Game Maker completely bricked me. That was unpleasant. I've also done a really interesting update, which is an update you should not be doing this close to release of anything, but it is one that has been needed to be done for ages, and it's shifted a lot of the stuff in game. So just to kind of show the hell I'm talking about, you might, if you recognize stuff in the game, you'll recognize very quickly it's going to look very different, and a lot of things have moved. Now this hasn't changed because this is actually an art asset, but you'll see that the you can't actually see from there. You'll see that the menu looks a little weird. And if we go here, you'll see that these look a little different as well. And in the character select, you'll see all of this looks very different. Why is that? Well, that is because I have changed the font in the game. Again, not something you really want to be doing this late in the cycle of things. But I'm also not going to pretend to say that it didn't need to be done. This change is actually pretty substantial. This is probably one of the biggest accessibility features that I will be adding to the game. And this sounds really weird. Why is adding a new font an accessibility feature? Well, you'll see that a lot of it's kind of moving off to the side a lot more than it used to be. To explain that, what we are using is now a mono space font. So this is actually really easy to explain if I just pull up Paint. So typically speaking, your font is like A, B, oh yeah, fucking B, C, yada yada yada. But the big one that comes up is this. Now, why does this matter? Well, you see, when you're looking at how stuff is structured, a normal spacing system, thanks cat for farting, is that these might be shaped at this. This is going to be shaped here. All that. This is going to be shaped like that. And this one is going to be shaped like this. So this is the spacing of it. These spacings, clearly, are not equal. In fact, this eye might be larger than these other ones. So what does this actually result in? This results in a situation that actually means that for dyslexia and such, it's actually harder to read. This is actually something that triggers dyslexia more, is having variable spacing. I can't remember the term for it. It starts with P. So yeah, you've got that. So that's what that problem is. Mono spacing resolves this by making it so everything is spaced at an equal point. What this does mean is that your text tends to become much longer because the I here takes up this space, but this I also takes up that space. So it'll be like that. Now that might look weird in the writing sense because you'll have this And then you might have, just as an example point, that versus that. But it makes it far, far easier to read. It's also good for speed reading as well. I've used it a couple of times as I've switched a text document to a monospacing before to just read faster. However, I couldn't find one that I was happy with for ages. Then I left it alone because it was just a low priority in my eyes. Now it's not, and I've also not only done that, I found one that has an italic. Now the italic kind of looks a bit weird. But this one looks, I think overall, the fact that it has an italic is a big selling point to me. So yeah, it's also, the big thing was, again, wanting to kind of stick to the arcadey pixel art styled text. That was always the big thing. I found a few today, but like most of them are like only capitals or missing a lot of the special characters. This one still missing a few special characters, but it actually, in fact, there's one ability I want to see if we're going to have a problem with anymore, because I think we had a problem with it in the previous one, and I want to see if we still have it. It would be Gura. Yeah. So I think one of the things with Gura had, I think it was on Reflection, for some reason had a incorrect thing. And now it does, I don't see a box, so it means that that's fine. But yeah, you can see, to be fair, and I say this in the nicest sense, this stuff wasn't already working quite well and correctly. No, it was here, that's it. Isn't. So I've done something wrong with that. Isn't. So that was timeline binding, so that was an item. Right down the bottom. Yeah, so it's just fucking do that to fix that problem. Okay, so yeah, that's where we sit with that. So, I should mention, again, my time off at the moment has been just spent getting a lot of the EXs further along and cleaned up. Getting some bugs sorted, getting assets done. I think, Aura, I smacked her with a new sprite for her attack. It is very based off one that I saw online. The animation for the slash. I tried to make it more interesting and unique, but I'll admit that it looks a little too much like the original, so I might have to smack it again at some point. But if we just go in quickly and use it, you'll see I've delayed it as well a huge amount, so you should be able to see it a little bit more, but there's only so much I can actually do when we've got that super animation thing for it. But yeah, so that's... I mean, like, that's an argument there as to why maybe we shouldn't have the thing come out as far as it is. Where is it done? It is draw in GUI end. So, okay, if we don't want it to come out quite as far, I'm going to turn this to timesing because it's going to be easier on my math. See what happens when we do it this way. I kind of don't want it to take up the center of the screen. That's kind of the problem I have at the moment, is that it is coming very, very much to the center of the screen. As much as I really like it and I like it showing off, I also don't want to waste your screen space with it. That should be good. I think that that's a reasonable amount that it comes out by. But yeah, so that's the slash particle now. Yeah. I'm still not sure how I feel. I mean, it really needs an audio thing, I think. Or something. But yeah, no, I think that looks a little bit better with having it slightly off to the side like that. Actually, the one character I can think of that I'm concerned with that positioning is Monarch. She's still on a low one. Okay, cool. So we could just trigger hers first. Yeah, see, hers is the problem because, like, hers is not going to come onto the screen then. And I don't believe I can edit it too much, can I? I think it's right, yeah. It's because hers takes up all of that room. Oh, because, like, by comparison... I mean, we could... Do we flip her? Can I just... I can't remember... I can't flip in this as easily, can I? Image... No, I can flip like that. Okay. So you're not going to see a little bit of the foot. That's fine. Gura still needs to be updated, but hers might need to come over a little bit. I mean, I'm editing here for now. Juniper's also needs to be checked out, and so will Caissons. I mean, I need to check all of them out, basically. Okay. I'm going to do a thing. Var ex test mod equals so we'll do division for it. So what we're doing here is I'm just setting up a fast track method to do what I've basically been doing this entire time. So I don't have to go through and manually edit every single stat. If I want to see an EX faster, I can just edit this step. I mean, it's less sorting through headache shite. That's right, I got to do Shy Lily's things today as well. I'll do that. The assist. Because I actually have the asset for it now. Well, what I think might be the asset for it. I might need to do something about that. Okay, so we'll test Monarchs quickly, just see how it looks. Oi, 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 that's a cable cat. Yeah, looks a bit better. Who was the next one that I know I needed to test? Junipers, because I don't want to, like, hide one of the models. So, it works. I hope. Cool. Let's see what Shy Lily's looks like. Oh, come here, cat. Alright. Let's have a little look at K-Sons as well. She's got quite a wider sprite asset for it as well. Yeah, I don't think I can move hers over that much though. Oh, by the way, the text looks way nicer with this. Holy shit, the damage text? Oh, that's so much more readable. Oh, I love it. Uh-oh. I just heard a bug there. That's the first thing I need to do. Second thing I need to do is... I forgot to do that at some point. So, okay, as an explanation, I added these together at some point. These are quick functions that just toggle certain values for me. That mean that I can just say player is immune and do not reset their damage taker. And then this is just reset it so the player can take damage again. And then I just did the other thing as a safety net, so when we go into the room, it'll be fixed. Who else have we to see? Mary. Let's have a little look at Mary's. Yeah, not too bad. Boobies. Oh yeah, I've fixed up his, the devilish devices now, and it actually feels way nicer. Like, look at this. This is level 2 of it, mind you, but, like... The duration of that needs to be fixed, but that's fine. That would be horrendous on him. But yeah. Ruby's feeling pretty decent. Outside of his EX not doing jack shit. So, one thing that might not be very clear, Booby is actually immune while he's doing his dash. I also... Should we toggle off so you can't move all the dash so you actually do get fucked over? Because I can fight against the dash. I actually like the idea of them. So that's the thing. So let's go to... That's Caisson, so right down here. This one. What is it? It's player dot movement disable equals true. False. So now you can't try and fight the dash. The dash happens and you get fucked up. That is the point. The dash is supposed to be really, really, like, intense, powerful, because you're immune while doing it, so you're pushing the damage area quite a bit with it. So it sounds weird. It's kind of like area. But also not. It's weird. The problem is that he doesn't get the sprite movement for it. I'd almost want to get a new sprite for his dash, which actually makes a lot of sense. I think that would definitely be an approach for it. You could hear people's thoughts at all times while they're playing your game, but only negative ones. Would you choose to have that power? Probably not. I don't see how I would hugely benefit from that, honestly. It's an interesting question, though. Like, my statement towards that is it's that whole issue of, like, it's not you shouldn't look at negative comments, but you should curate them. If you have that sort of power, then are you curating them? No, probably not. You're just getting swarmed with negativity. So regardless of if there's some constructive feedback, you're just going to get swarmed with negativity. Even I ain't got that strong a mental. But it's an interesting question nonetheless. I mean, that's that whole argument. I don't think many people actually want to be able to read other people's minds. Like, they say they want to, but that's because they just want to know what... They want to confirm or deny certain thoughts. Oh god, okay, that's a joke I don't think I can share. Right. Gotta love when people make political jokes and you just sit there and go, yikes. Okay, so that being the case, yeah, I'll probably make an animation then at some point for Booby. The dash, I don't think it would be too bad to just make like him arms out jumping or something. We'll see. Breakables not stacking, that's one thing I wanted to work on. So, that is in map parts, breakables. So it's the breakable spawn. Believe I just need collision point. Also, I don't know how I feel about the change that Opera GX has done. It's a little strange. Okay. Collision. Okay, cool. Probably should have this earlier in the thing. So we don't even roll the function. Yeah. Okay, that should stop that issue. So, simple explanation of this issue. Let's pull up paint for a moment here. The simple issue is, what was happening is we have spawn points for our packs, like, say that. It goes through the randomization, it spawns the pack here, goes, it's off screen, but it doesn't get, guarantee purged. It's because I think I've got like a buff of the purging. Point is, doesn't get purged, the randomization occurs again, and another pack gets put here. Now we've got 2 packs here. Do we want that? No. Because I think I've given it a buffer around the, yeah, so we've given some gap. I think. Or is it just the view X minus gap? Gap is 0 at the moment. I don't edit the gap anymore, do I? No. No, that's the wrong thing. It's this. No, it is within thing. To be fair, the breakable script doesn't get run all the time, right? I think this is run every 20 seconds, so that's kind of why I've done that. Stops overlapping. It's fine. It's a niche case that I just wanted to clean up on. Alright. So, more modifiers, Shaylily stuff. And more of the updates. Which again, like, I've listed off pretty much everything that I need to actually get done. That's pretty much it. It's just general cleanup and adding just more modifiers. What do we got for modifier lists at the moment? Under scripts, right? Modifiers constructor, because I'm pretty sure I've got the list here. Yeah. Don't know how that's working, but we'll look into it later. Rerolls aren't currently working. Do we want to try and do rerolls? I could work on rerolls. Alright, I'm going to remember these rules of getting the thing. So get options leveling, avoid array. This is what we need to look at. Don't need to look at this thing. So it gets the number that it needs of them. Okay. So what we need for re-rolling is actually really basic. I'm going to make it, but I'm not going to implement it because I will leave it to the person working on the UI to implement it. Because it will actually be literally just they need to pass in one of their variables. So we need the we need to pass through an array. Damn. Whoops, I pressed that in the wrong location. Okay, so... Banish choice. It's a case. Leave that for the moment. So the banishing is going to be interesting. Because we're going to want... How do I do it again? I did it last stream, didn't I? How did I do it last stream? It was in the buffs. Buffs or debuffs? Trying to remember where we had it. hours how we did it. It's array copy. So there's a thing about this that I'm going to have to do. So first of all, we're going to take these and we're going to go to the room start and just purge them. And then I'm going to make a function. It's going to be a player script. Function get player banished. Return. Because I'm pretty sure if I just add an array to an array, it doesn't work. Because it's going to try and merge linear. That's the problem. So I need to do array copy. What if we merge all of that into one array? So we have weapon. Item. ability. Stat up. Which is arguably easier to maintain. Okay. And it means that this script is going to be easier to write. So this is the destination. This is, so we want destination index is array length of array. Player dot banished I, and then array length player dot banished. Should work correctly. What's it not liking here? Oh, I need the index. 0. There you go. Be happy with that. And we just do the exact same thing. Except we get a var for this. Yeah. So, okay, this sounds like a stupid ass question. And I know exactly what I'd do if it's not the case, but I want to see if it's possible. First, the expression is executed. Next, it results, Pairing with the different constants after each case statement. Constant means that a value in the case that cannot be a variable expression and must be a fixed value of any data type. So yeah, I can't do what I was thinking. That's fine. I just do the thing that's naturally what you're supposed to do in those cases. So if, say, case is all weapons, case is weapons equipped. Break. So just another reminder on this. We've done this lesson before when it comes to switch statements, but this is one of the benefits switch statements have. It's kind of useful. So what I have just done is I've made a switch statement. So let's just say this all in here is the switch statement. So we're testing for what array does it come from. All right. What we've just done is gone, okay, if it is from the all weapons, which is everything that's not equipped by the player, and then equipped weapons. But by not having a break in between these, and having the break here, at the end of the equipped weapons, this means this one will fall through into this. So whatever I write in here will be true for both of these cases, because there's no break to stop it from falling through. So, what this should mean now is if we have a weapon of any kind and we've banished it, it will push into this location and get rid of it. And then I'm also going to push through this, because we're going to want to we're going to want to reroll. Because I am of the opinion that if you're going to reroll, then you are going to... if you're going to banish, you're rerolling as well at the same time. I don't know. I'm of mixed feelings when banish is basically a wasted level. One thing I will say is I do believe that some games that have you can only banish once per level is fine, and I might even consider that a modifier thing I could hit. So one of the modifiers is you can banish more than once per level up. I think that wouldn't be a horrendous idea. So now I just need to go through and write all the cases. So then the case of item, all items, and then the case of the equipped items. And it's basically the same as this, except it's one. And again, same here, but we've got it as, oh, no, 2. And then finally, because I don't see any of the others actually being possible, but we'll just have this for now and have the default. Oh, we don't have a default, so it can break. We'll see what happens. Stat. All stat ups, because I don't believe I removed from here, is the point. I believe I'm constantly pulling from that. That's what we're pulling from to get our levels for stats. Now, so this is one of the things I wanted to point out. The problem with this is this means however many banishes I give you, I have to have an available amount of options that are for stat ups at the very least, stat ups and other things that are greater than however many upgrades you can get. Why does this matter? I'm sure you can probably kind of get the idea, but what happens if I'm trying to get 3 upgrades, but you've banished all but 2 things? It's gonna break. So now we have a situation where if I give you 5 banishes, I have to ensure there are 8 stat up options. Now, there's an argument to be made of I kind of want to ensure if I add something like you heal or you get meta currency, that those 2 are given to you and you cannot banish those. Those will be constant things to turn up. But I'm not sure how I want to implement them yet, because a lot of games have those and they're eventually like, these are the guarantees that you'll always see, which is potentially wise. But I think because I'm going to probably stick to 3 upgrades you can see when you level up, I'm not going to have them as guarantees, I'm going to have them as irregulars. I'm just going to have it as probably, if you're pulling, say, 3 upgrades, you're guaranteed to see one or the other as the last upgrade. I think that's a valid way of approaching it, maybe. But point is, now we have a banish and a reroll system sitting there, ready to be implemented, whenever we choose to. So now we need to actually set some values for how many banishes and how many rerolls you get in a game. I'm going to, again, so you're seeing this a lot, as I'm setting a lot of these values on the player, less so than globals when I can, and I'm going to probably keep doing that. Is it ES for banish? Can't remember. So a big thing that needs to be pointed at is that eventually I'm going to have to basically reset these stats on entering the game room and stuff, and then I'm going to have a way of pulling their meta stats. But that's all fine because again, this is the point. So again, to explain the big move to doing this, of putting more of these values on the player as I go, it's because when we get further in and we hit multiplayer, I need to do this. Everything needs to be on the player object. Why might that be? Because when you're doing multiplayer, you have to have basically two key objects. You have to have the multiplayer manager, which is going to probably be either separate or on the main controller, and the main controller and it are going to work a lot. And then you have to have the player object. So I could make a controller and then make the player dictated on all that stuff, yada yada yada. Or I could just run everything via the player and have it all concisely in this location. And it's better. And if that's the case, I need to ensure the values of like damage, of health, of all of that are stored on the player so that stuff is easily accessible when necessary. And I've talked about this before, but like a lot of these stats I'm also just not going to be updating very often. Like, the updates are going to probably occur on level every half second for basic information, for constant information, and then every like few seconds for unconstant information. So what I mean by that is like movement speed would probably be tracked every half second. Stats in general will probably be tracked every half second. And this is why I'm going to try and stick to only 4 players, because I'm going to be transferring a lot of information around, because a lot of information has to be transferred around. What doesn't need to be transferred around, for example, is rerolls. You do not need to know what the other player rerolls are. You do not need to know if the player can or cannot take damage. A lot of the damage stuff doesn't actually need to be tracked. What needs to be tracked is, on the player's end, how much health they have. Okay, send that through. Shields kind of need to probably come through. Res effects don't. Because I just need to tell them if the player is dead or not. That's it. Armor, again, doesn't probably really need to come through unless you see the player's armor. And even then, like, it could just be the stat comes through and nothing actually is happening. Movement speed does need to come through because movement speed is going to determine a lot of things. But at that same time, maybe it doesn't, because guess what? We could also be only sending over their position data, which I think is inherently kind of done when we're doing this system with the inbuilt multiplayer. But yeah, like a lot of the damage and stuff like that, that kinda does need to come through, kinda doesn't. Because simply put, I just need to have if an enemy is dead or not. Most of the time. I need to probably transfer over enemy health because we do have some stuff to care about that. But like, I probably am going to set up a system where it basically doesn't show you jack shit. Like, I'm gonna try and find the best ways to send over as little information as possible, because I'm gonna have to send over quite a lot of information on the regular. Like, if I can get away with it, I don't want to even have weapons basically on other players' things. I only want them on the player that's actually using them. But I know that that's probably not going to work. And that does mean, by the way, I'm going to have to change a lot of functions. Every function that uses OPlayer, basically, is going to have to change in design to using an indexing function for it. Because we're going to have to go, which player? OPlayer is all of the players. We want OPlayer with this index, which I do believe I have a shitty function for. But I've not actually, like, used it. I can't remember. I think I made it. It might be somewhere. If not, I know what I need to do for it, and it is going to be really simple. Oh no, I haven't made it, but I've made the prep work for it. Because the idea is that, see this variable is going to be what it's called. And then there's also going to be a player name. Like, those two there are probably the most, like, pure information showing that, like, multiplayer is getting transitioned in. I see Game Maker, I click fair. Game Maker is a very fun thing. I will say, I have not liked the ID update that they just released because it broke my project, so I've had to revert to the previous IDE. It took me a good half hour this morning to see if I could fix it, and it didn't want to fix. So now that we've added those two systems, who do I want to work on now? I could probably just do some more further cleanup. What cleanup do I want to do though? Because there's visual cleanup. Ah, yeah, we were going to do this one, weren't we? Because this one currently is its own thing. The last 3 runtime versions have been broken audio and they're just not fixing it. Yeah, it happens. I can't say anything to it myself. Sometimes it happens though. I mean, it must be very difficult to make systems as complex as they do sometimes. So I do give them a little bit of credit there. But yeah, like I straight up couldn't launch anymore on the new IDE. Because if I was on the new IDE and I launched this, it would just come up with a file read error and I could no longer launch the game. Which is not good. Not good at all. So what values do you have? Because you're the old skill constructor. Do I just try and transition this to a new skill constructor? Sure. Oh, I've put a thing there. There we go. So that's sprite array, object, description, trigger, value array, level up. And then I can go yoink the functionality from here and move it there. So it's easier to work on this. You do not need to be double dipping the global damage. That sounds like a horrendous idea. That's right, so I also need to add in, let's see. What's the order I need? It's stagnant, remove type. We want remove type dot duration. What kind of game am I making? It's a Vampire Survivors-like game. Vampire Survivors, Soulstone Survivors, Holocure. There's a lot of games that I'm pulling inspiration from. I've been working on it since February last year. I can show gameplay in a moment. I just want to get this working. So I need remove duration equals this, delete, so it's value 1. But I need to make sure I add in this. And then func type dot on cleanup. Don't need anything to pass through. Reset EX. Aha. Much better. Okay, and now I need to change this name thing here to skill no. It's weapon setup. Create skill player. Okay, that should function correctly. So let's launch the game, show off the game a little bit, but also see if this is working, as I'm hoping it will now. So this should now have a 1, 2, 3. So that did have the correct duration. Why did that break? Do I have it so you can't move for some reason? What? Why was that making it so I couldn't move? Unless... Yeah, no, I have no idea why that was... So that's working normally. Interesting. That's a very strange situation to be having right now. Why? should only care about demon claws, right? Yeah. It's... Yeah, once it falls. Why is that? Vampire Survivors, like, with an inventory. This is interesting. Yeah, I mean, like, it's got your typical items, your typical... so it's got also abilities, which is, again, kind of like a... drawn on from a few different concepts. So your abilities are non-item things that are very unique to the characters, typically, outside of, sort of, an aspect of it. There's EXs, then there's an assist. You can select a second character and you'll get their second ability, so their non-passive ability, is one of the abilities you can get on your list, and you'll get a unique assist as well relative to them. Sometimes it will be a version of their EX, just weaker, or it will be an entirely different ability. I'm trying to keep them unique and interesting, but you know, there's only so many ideas I can do at sometimes. Why is it that the movement speed is not fixing when the EX is active though? That's a very confusing bug. Is it something to do with this? Let's see. No. I'm confused because it's almost like this is taking the same rules that Shay Lily's has. Because Shay Lily's has the, players disabled and players immune. Why is that the case? How about it's about here. I just make you tell me. Even though that's not your job, technically. I want you to tell me. Yeah. Interesting. Okay, that's really strange. So it's clearly not the ability's clearly not working how I want it to then. If thing is thing. If named weapon exists, demon claws. Okay, then I want you to show debug message name. Because I want to see if your name's wrong. It should be Hellzone. But if it comes up with demon claws at any point, then that would explain the answer. Hellzone, Hellzone. No, it's Hellzone. So why are you becoming movement disabled? I have no idea. Oh, man, I'm stupid as hell. That should fix it. Ah, boy, do I love how, that is the beauty of programming. You just forget sometimes. You just forget. I bet you it's fixed now. So, got that going, and now I'm doing this. Wow, would you look at that, it's fixed. Oh god, I love my own stupidity. That damage can definitely go up. Oh yeah, and there's none of the knockback at the moment. Let's try that out. I swear the knockback's just not even happening, eh? Should be pull push power, value 2. Do I need to... Fuck it, 200. Let's see if they fly across the screen now. Go extreme to see if it works. It feels like it wasn't doing damage. Is it... Have I done the stat wrong? Oh, goodbye, cat. Okay, then. Weird noise. Okay, this probably doesn't help, because I'm not going to probably find any weapons that direction. It's just damage. Yeah, no, it should be correct. Let's just put this to 50. I'm sorry, cat. I needed to move a little bit. All right. Admittedly, yes, the enemies do have additional armor, so they are much more tanky, but they shouldn't be that much more tanky. Oh, is this set to once? Is that what's going on? Hit, remove type, hit type. So we want hit type weapon dot per tick. Because we do actually want it like constant. That's why the damage is supposed to be low, is because it's supposed to be every tick it's pushing them away from you and keeping you safe. This is supposed to be your safety net as Booby. He's actually supposed to be an incredibly bad character for the fact that he goes in automatically, but he gets a lot of damage to compensate, and then I'm giving this as a safety net. It's actually really hard to test with the dash. Okay, so it looks like the damage is too high, which is exactly what I expected. Oops. 3. Oh, but the knockback's just still not doing pretty much anything. I don't know. Can't wait to introduce EX amp and assist amp values to the game. That's gonna be fun. It's gonna be interesting because again, it's a question of like some abilities. What would they have as their amplification? Well, we have some very clear like, oh well, the damage goes up, right? With some of them. Because Booby's, for example, his assist is his ult, but weaker. So I'd assume I would just make it slightly smaller, maybe, slightly lower damage, significantly lower damage. We'll go with that. But like, buff ones, okay, well we maybe increase their numbers. But then we get the one that's probably the hardest to gauge. Iron Mouses. The fuck am I supposed to do for her assist? Because it's her ult. But her ult is a screen wipe. Like, what the hell is an assist amp gonna do to this? My initial, like, thought process is just, well, nothing. It's going to increase nothing on, the Iron Mouse assist. That's fine. Because what would it increase? It already is an insta-kill to the target. So why would I care beyond that? Oh yeah, I was just checking your bloody claws, you twat. Don't give me a fucking flick. Alright, okay. I guess I could work on Shade Lily's assist soon. Yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah, okay, so one thing I do want to talk on, because I think this is like very topical, very worthwhile talking on. I briefly touched upon it the other day, but new news has kind of popped up over the last day about this. So Concord, the Sony game that has done horrendously. So it was in development for about 8 years, so pre-COVID development. It did not get marketed well. I will say this very openly. That was one of its biggest mistakes. I don't speak too much towards the game. I've not heard great things about it, but again, I've not heard great things. It's only heard, not played, not really seen either, just because no one's really playing it. They've already announced that by the end of the week, they're going to shut down the servers for it, and they're just going to sell a refund a lot of people. And so there's two things I want to speak on with this. So one of the things I spoke on yesterday, I think it was yesterday I talked on it. But one of the things I want to talk on it is just like, this is again a showing of putting resources and direction in the wrong locations. This is nothing against the developers. I'm sure the game was a stellar work of art that they put their heart and soul into, or they, at least that latter end of it, is probably true. It really sucks to hear that it had a negative reception like this and it just bombed. But like, we've now seen 2 games in the last little while do this. I think this is the second game this year that's done this, right? Was it this year or last year that there was a game that basically bombed super badly, and in about 3 days it just got servers removed, everything, because it was just not cost effective. And I'm hoping this is a wake-up call to a lot of things, but like, one of the things I talked on is that this is kind of some of the ramifications of getting rid of a lot of the veteran-y talent that existed in the industry. Because we've talked about this numerous times, and I talked about this in relation to this. companies got rid of a lot of people post-COVID because they could no longer kind of effectively ride the boom of how much gaming boomed during COVID. And due to that, they got rid of a lot of people. But the problem was that they targeted a lot of veterancy, a lot of people that had been with these companies for potentially decades even. And I'm not saying that there isn't a level of sometimes someone's around for too long. I mean, my math teacher in high school was a great example of this. Was that they were someone that taught during the era where you could rake the kids' knuckles, and it was clear. They were super orthodox, super standardized, and had did not give any cares for anything other than exact results. If you did not accomplish this perfectly and all this, you're a mistake of a human being. And it's not her job to help you, it is her job to tell you what to do. That was very much old school teaching. That's a teacher that, yeah, probably should have been retired earlier. But it doesn't stop the fact that there is a veterancy there. There's still a value to keeping those sorts of people around in industries where talent is the requirement, where they have it's actual engineering work, it's constant work like that on projects. So there's a level of gotta find a middle ground with that shit. And yeah, so they got rid of a lot of people, and this is also beautiful example of Sony's really dropped the ball a lot recently. They really, really have, and it's not looking good. This was supposed to be one of their big headliners. They barely advertised for it. I only knew the game came out a week before it was coming out. And on top of that, the main thing I knew about the game coming out is nobody wanted to play it. Nobody was interested. And then when it came out, all I knew was that nobody bought it. And the fact that its sales numbers were 6 digits, I think. It was 200,000 copies sold. Which, again, might sound like a lot. For a AAA studio, that is not. Because, let's pull up a calculator, shall we? I want to actually pull up a calculator to kind of talk to this point. So, average game pricing, we'll use New Zealand currency for this because I can do the conversions if need be. Actually, no, let's use USD. So, typically speaking, a game is what, $60, $70 US? So we'll go with 60 times 200,000. So that's $12 million that it got. Now I'm going to look it up because I don't want to speak to a wrong number. Cool, here we go. So, the average development cost of a AAA game is about 60 to 80 million. Now, this one probably went over this because it was an 8-year development. So we'll say 80. So, simply put, let's just do good old... So it made about... It was about a... 70% loss. It doesn't sound right? It should be way worse than that. Yeah. I might have done the calculation. Point is, 12 million gain to a project that probably cost about 80 million. That's a huge failure. That's an incredible failure. Now, there have been games that have succeeded from those failures, right? The problem is, so there's two situations that often occur. And this was kind of leaning more towards the second option. So the first option is you get a No Man's Sky situation where the game comes out, it's absolutely in a terrible state. It's buggy, it's empty, not really anything close to what was promised. Not a horrendously bad game, mind you, but just nothing close to what was promised. Fable had this issue as well, but anyway. Now, No Man's Sky is possibly one of the most zero to hero stories that exist out there for game development. It's a game that is passionately still worked on, free updates constantly, all this sort of stuff, and it has more than made back its reputation. Awesome. Great. Benefit of that is that it's a non-live service game, so they can afford to kind of keep working on it in sort of a way, but it's still a development nightmare for that. And I'm sure that a lot of budget cuts have had to be done to ensure working on their game for as long as they have. Massive props to them. Then you get Anthem. Anthem didn't really start very well. It was a Warframe clone that just didn't have a lot of interesting stuff going on under the hood. Looks flashy and cool on the surface, but it got boring very quickly. Their treatment to the community, however, in retaliation to these criticisms and problems early on, was horrendous. That was a PR disaster. And that's why that game flopped, because basically the developers treated the community like fucking shit, and instead of fixing the game or communicating with them well. So yeah, that led to problems. This is more on that latter with Concord, is that I watched the developers basically say, give it a chance, all this sort of stuff, and then some say some pretty stupid fucking things. And then you get people like PC Gamer and shite, reviewers, going, oh, people are just bashing on Western companies for no good reason when jobs are at stake. And it's like, well, no. If people don't want to play a game, people don't want to play a game. But, you know what's more insulting in that statement? Is that they're pointing at Western studios with that. So it's perfectly fine for the reviewers and all that sort of stuff to continue bashing on Eastern developed games. Like they did with Wukong, Black Myth Wukong, with a lot of games. I mean, Hoyoverse and its subsidiaries and all that are still getting bashed to this day for stupid ass fucking arguments. But like, yeah, all of these games got treated poorly by reviewers and continue to be treated poorly in a lot of those sense, even though people love the game. And it's like, so it's okay for you to bash on Eastern, but the moment the players don't enjoy a Western game and just don't bother, you guys say we're wrong. I'm hoping this, it sounds horrible, but I'm actually hoping all of this results in a massive explosion, and goes really, really badly, really, really quickly, because hopefully it will mean that there's an argument to just scrap and restart a lot of this sort of approach. Or like there's room for innovation and creativity when it comes to reviewing things. Because like I think that's one thing we all miss about, say, Total Biscuit, right? Is he was a brilliant man that was unfettered and unfiltered. He would tell you the brutal, honest opinion, and it's why sponsors were so interesting from him, because If he got sponsored, they knew they were getting a brutally honest opinion, and he refused to take a positive, like one of those contracts that would say you can only say positivity shit about it by the end, and that was extremely respectful. Now, mind you, I understand like companies and marketing departments pushing those contracts, right? Like, you don't want the person to just sit there for 30 minutes shitting on your game when they've got 1 million or so people watching it. And it's like, fuck. Well, are any of them going to buy the game now? Probably not. You've probably lost a lot of sales in the process. But there's an argument right there, right? Is that the marketing department should recognize, okay, this game's clearly not ready for marketability, let's push it out. I'm really hoping that it just improves some things, but I don't think it will. Not yet, anyway. I think we're moving into an era where we're seeing more positivity around indie development and indie developers in general, and I'm hoping that that continues to kind of be how things move. So I want there to be positivity around game development. I think one thing I get really riled up about, and I know... What was it? Pirate Software Thor has talked about this a little bit, is the fact that game developers are not treated the same as other artistic positions and work. So one example to that is you commission an artist and the artist has a backlog and all that sort of stuff. If they're good at it, they'll kind of admit going, hey, look, I'm behind on my commission work. I'm really sorry. Here's the, like, kind of a rough timeline maybe of where I'm at. But I'm gonna probably have to push your stuff out by like a week or a month or so. The general response is pretty positive to that. It's like, oh, well, life happens, that's fine, cool. Game development, and especially indie development, are not treated that way. Developers are treated like shit. It's like, well, no, why is it not ready right now? How dare you? You monster. Oh, it's slightly buggy. Oh, you monster. Nah, this game's unplayable. I will never play this game ever again because it's buggy on release and they have no way of mass testing to the scope that people think they can. I do hope the general consensus improves around that. I really do. It's frustrating having that sort of experience. Like, I'm gonna be honest, right? I don't expect an extremely large scale opinion or thought towards this game on release. I highly expect that this is going to like go under the radar. I'm gonna release it to Steam and it's going to probably get like 30 downloads for the first month, and at least 1 or 2 of them are me. And then, I mean, the other thing as well is like this game can't make money, right? So while I will get those downloads, I will not get any return. I have to pay $100 fucking to get this on this game on Steam. I'm not gonna ever make that money back, not directly. But my hope is that like I'll at least have done it, I've made it, I can work on it for a little while to keep improving it and keep working on it and iterating, and then I will have learnt what I needed to from it, and if it's not popular by then, gotta move on. If it is popular by then, I'm still gonna move on a little bit. I'll just keep working on it as a regular thing, and I might try and just, yeah, like, I want to work on the next game. The next game's going to be a big deal for me because that will be a game that I will be making without an IP infringement as its entire concept. So it will no longer be a fan game and I can actually try and make money out of it. And at that point in time, I feel like I would actually be capable of making a game that is worth selling for $1. As a form of experience. and then I can work on them faster and easier and keep moving on and on and on and progressing my my understanding and improvement. I don't expect to make my amazing best game as my first game, nor do I expect to make it in the first, like, 5 games, I'll be honest. I'm disappointed that it's taken me this long to work on this game and get as far as I have. It being almost, like, it's a year and a half over that, like, over a year and a half that I've worked on this project. I wanted to be done in the first year so I could work on another game this year, and I am still upset that I've basically not touched a next game. Like, I've got 2 other games outside of this ready to work on that I'm touching on ideas for them constantly. One of them's the card game, another one is a story game. Pseudo story puzzle thing that I've been working on somewhat infrequently. Because the problem is that one's a heavy branching story thing that I expect will be like a project I could easily work on forever because I could keep coming up with ideas. And I expect if I keep coming up with ideas and working on it, I'd probably also just make them free. And I'd probably make that game $5. I don't know, depends. Keep in mind as well when I speak of these numbers, like, they're extremely rough estimates, and it's my way of saying, like, I want people to have the opportunity to play it. I want to keep it as low to the ground as I can so people can have better opportunities, but I also do need to actually feed myself and make some legitimate argument there. Am I going to release a $60 game and then, like, work from that? Fuck no, I don't think I'm going to do that until I have a fucking studio. Don't get me wrong, I've got a game I'd love to make that's I would probably sell for like $30, $40 New Zealand. Like, I've got a really large scale game I'd love to make, but I would want to make that in something like UE, because I want to use the shadows system that they have in there and physics. It's more aligned with what I want to do long term with that specific game, but that's like super shelved and far in the future. Then I also have another game that I'm honestly just gonna probably write a fucking engine for. Okay, so one thing I also wanted to do is in UI. I was thinking about this for a while. So I think it's in Draw GUI is that it's done, right? Is it in here? I don't fucking remember. This is menu pause, menu upgrade. Oh god, okay, I see what he's kind of done here. Ugh. I do not agree with this approach. So I need option draw. It's option draw list. Upgrade. Function. Yeah, I will talk with the UI developer about that then later, because there's just no way I can see how to do the thing I want to do. It is a little concerning that he's hard-coded the design the way he has. Makes some of the aspects very hard to edit and slot things in nicely. Which is going to be necessary moving forward, so. It sounds horrible, but the way he's designed it means that, like, I can't go and do something in it. Not easily. So that's why I was just kind of like looking at that. I'm not saying I'm much better in most of my areas. Like, a lot of this stuff I feel is pretty hard to follow, but I feel that, like, fuck, I'm pretty sure just about anyone can come in and make a weapon at this point. As long as they just go read the other weapons. I'm gonna turn that into a per second. I'm gonna bring the damage up again. Seven. I feel like now I have to make the knockback 7. Okay. This still needs work. Ooh. God, I really love when it doesn't lock that correctly. Emergency splash probably needs some tweak at some point. I mean, your assist is so fucking boring. I don't need to test it because it will work. That's the problem. So, Shay Lily, your EX works. Cool. Your assist. So there is some code I need to find for this. Is it did I have the tab open still here? I'm probably just gonna have to make a custom object, aren't I? Yeah, let's just make a custom object. Okay, assist components. Create group, Shy Lily. Create object, Shy. God, why have they done it this way? Oh, okay, so Opera GX, you need to fucking sort your shit out. By doing this, it means I cannot drag from the top now. That is actually foul. So I'm not sure this is going to fully work, but we'll see how this goes. This needs to be minus, oh no, I don't need to do that. I should just be able to do, view X. And then this should be view X plus view width. Yeah, better system for this thing. Suggesting. View Y. View Y plus view height. Okay, okay, and then I'm going to I need my acid. Sprite, character, player character, Shay Lily, assist. PNG. So for now, I'm going to just do a lot of this manually because this is going to be a system I don't know how it's going to go. Index equals this, and then I'm going to go into game. Going to drag this, just drop it down, and we're going to just run around with this for now and do it manually. Let's pick a different character, one that we feel a little bit happier about using to just run around with. Good old Iron Mouse, because she doesn't die easily. So this should just be here for now. I mean, we need to wait for, was it 20 seconds? Is it 20 seconds or 40 seconds? Fuck, when does this shrine spawn? Okay, so it kind of works. I need to rotate this image. And then going to want to create a gap. Say a gap 20. That plus minus minus. So these need to be plus. Let's also have the shrine spawn earlier. Actually, you know what? I'll have that. Can't believe I didn't think to do that. Go me. So that looks good. So there's a couple of things I need to change about it. One, I'm going to fuck with this. At the end of the thing. And then, X is less than equal to shrine dot x plus, say 5, just to give it the buffer neck. Right, did I get this right? Yeah. Okay, take this. No, it's minus. Oh, shrine. Dot. Let's try that. Ay, ay, ay. Ironically enough, I'm gonna actually potentially make this a weapon, and it will be weird. Okay, it didn't work. Why have you not worked? Is it the depth thing? Because we didn't test the depth thing. Let's just remove the depth thing, just in case that was what it is. And the depth thing just made it explode. Yeah, the depth thing made it explode. What do we think? I think that looks pretty good. Obviously it needs something to do with the depth, but we'll sort that out shortly. So the only thing I need to worry about is a gap, this thing, and potentially this needs to come down a little bit. Alright. So, that is what we want. I'm actually happy with that. That's pretty simple, pretty nice. I like. I don't think there's anything else I would really want to do to it. If you're wondering, so yes, again, Shy Lily's assist is literally just going to be that, which might seem really bad, but once shrines get all of their things actually put in, there's a lot of really potent and useful buffs that will be related to them, which makes that more valuable because it's going to be easier to find them. Now, there's an argument to be made, oh, we'll just find them, dumbass. Yeah, just go find them. It's not as easy as that sounds, though. So let's give us an else case scenario to work with as a reference point. which would be actually, you know what? Don't really need to be updating this constantly. But so why am I doing it this slow? Okay. We've got that working for us. Just doing this so we're not repeating a very small line of stuff more than we needed to. So we can test this pretty quickly. Realized what I did wrong there. Now it is fixed. And now it's going to be above our head until there is a shrine. Nice little catch case scenario. Now it has moved off my head because there's a new shrine over here. Cool. Now, I don't think we want this anyway. It was a nice idea, but I think we'll move to a different system. There we go. So I think I'll do this instead though, because what I'm thinking I might do is I might just, oh god, the camera dying. I might make basically a list of things to check for, and then I will instance count all of them, and I will just spawn the thing and it will last for like 3-4 seconds. And then by doing this, it means that you can see where all the things are. So crates, shrines, I don't know if I'd do breakables. I need to have a way of differentiating them more clearly. But yeah. Alright. Okay, don't play with my hair. I had a hair on my notepad, wiped it off, and the cat immediately tried to play with it. Good on them. Okay. So let's go. You know how I was working on modifiers at one point? I'm gonna remove the thing from the game room. I think it's that one. Can I just find it in this list? Yes, I can. Cool. There. So now we can just make that and spawn it easily. I'll just need to have a way to paint it in the correct location. Because I'm gonna want to paint it probably below UI, but above everything else. So I'm just gonna have to make the depth super high. Or super close. I think it's negatives that I need. Yeah, I need negative value. I mean, the short answer I have towards it would be just, actually doing, the old trick, but more aggressive. Depth equals minus y, times 2. So now it's just, it should be above everything relative to its location. Alright. Modifiers. I was working. God damn it. Modifiers construction. Let's do this one really quickly. I haven't got a title for it still, but fuck it. Who cares? O player dot rerolls plus equal 4. Yeah, that'll be that easy. It's not going to actually be useful at the moment, but it's in there for now. I have no idea what to call this though, off the top of my head. What's a funny, like, rolling thing for VTubers? Funny rolling meme. I'm gonna Google funny rolling meme VTuber and see what happens. Funny rolling meme VTubers. tried to be funny, got horny instead. Yeah, it's about right for VTubing. Why did VTuber feet come up? Fuck you. I mean, it could just not be roles as well. It could be like indecision or something like that. Indecisive. Indecisive. That's not how it's spelled, is it? Yeah. Did not expect to see Funimation and penetration. Alright. I'm your senpai, nah, you're cute. Fucking alright then. I mean, there's a really shitty name I could do. Right, rolling with it. Get plus 4 rerolls. It's actually horrendous, but it works. Again, that functionality doesn't exist at this stage. Is there any other modifiers that I had on my list that I wanted to do? Can't do that one because those don't exist at the moment. No, I don't have any more positive, interesting, or looking ones, so that's kind of sad. Yeah, I have no idea off the top of my head what another modifier could be. I'm gonna Google game run modifiers. Dome Keeper. What does Dome Keeper have as modifiers? What the fuck is your modifiers? Modifiers, no monsters. Drill bird mode, maze, long cycles, HUD. Okay, what? Right, automated defense unlocks all offensive dead gadgets alongside their autonomous upgrade, autocannon fire, but it removes the dome's main weapon. That's an interesting one. Could we do you lose your main weapon, but you get a random another weapon, and like if at level 2? That would be such a wild one to code, too. Oh, I don't want to do it, but I want to do it. Would that be positive? That's got to be positive, right? I'm just not going to name it for now. I'm just going to write it in my docs because we can work off of it. Like, gain it at level 2 or 3? Level 3, I'd say. No, level 2, and then, like, have the value of it as, like, 3. So it's not highly common, but it'd come turn up fairly early on. Double iron, increase iron deposits. HUD. All HUD upgrades unlocked for free. Is purely a quality of life one and doesn't have any downsides. I mean, I'm straight up just reading the modifiers on Domekeeper. Here we go. You can actually see the page that I'm looking at. So we can, like, look at stuff. Long cycles, mining phase time is doubled, but waves are harder. I mean, I don't see how I would do something similar. Right? Make the most of your mining time, upgrade offenders earlier than... Maze alters map generation so that there are more branches to the mine, resembling a maze. Quick and feeble. Monsters are faster but have less health. See, that's a cool idea for a negative run modifier, right? Give me a sec. So, like, enemies have plus 100% move speed, but minus 30% max health. That sounds like an idea. Okay. Holocure. Average plate game. Again, I'm just looking at random ass ideas to see if there's something that is interesting to me. Lava slowly rises, eventually covering an area. Lava goes faster if the difficulty is higher. I mean, I could do something like that. They create like danger areas in the map. There's a possibility. Everyone's max health is decreased to 1, making any damage fatal. We actually do have a thing like that. Everyone's plate gets either a skyscraper or a tree on it. I have no idea what that would be of equivalency. Everyone's plate is stretched on a random scale. Don't care. Black Fault sets in, decreasing your vision, cricket sound effects play during the round. A couple of players gain flashlights. Don't give a shit. Ooh. Actually, do we want to have like an ice thing? No, I feel like that needs to be a terrain. Right, like one of the maps can have a terrain area that's got the slidey effect and not like specifically a modifier. I don't think it would work quite as much as a thing. Yeah, I'm not seeing very many modifiers here. That would be what I want. Okay, so what have we got for options with, say... I'm trying to think. Because we've looked at Hades before. What is it called? Like, the difficulty. Ascension, that's the term I'm looking for. The Ascension system. You need to beat all 3 acts with the character. So, elites spawn more often, normal enemies are deadlier. Heal less after boss battles, start each run damaged. We do have kind of that already. Start each run cursed. Upgrade cards appear less often. Lower max HP. Shops are more costly. And double boss. And none of those really stood out to me. I love how Dome Keeper's the only one that's really coming up here. Like, is there any games that have random modifier start things? I mean, like, there's... Okay, let's use TFT as another example. TFT portals. I'm gonna look at the portals. See if there's anything in here that catches my eye. Start the game with 3 random tier 1 champs. Start the game with a random tier 3 champ. Start the game with an artifact annual that lets you choose an item. Augments this game will be silver, gold, or prismatic. Every time you select an augment, gain 3 gold. Each stage, get a champion that fits your team. Twice per stage, gain a high cost champion. The cost increases with game time. Charms cost 50% less. Get 1 completed item anvil. Gain 2 item component anvils. Dancing crabs, replace a thing. Yeah. Welcome to this game. I mean, I could do something like Crab Rave, right? Where like we have it replaces all enemies with an enemy. Specifically. I like the idea. I know exactly how I would do it too. Start the game with champion duplicator or thing. Players start with more health. Damage after winning combat. I mean, there's also ones where it's like it's going to modify player currency or something like that as well. But I'm just kind of, again, I want to try and find interesting ideas. Ones that like will change the game notably instead of just stat tweaks. and dials. Like, I don't want to do those as often. That's why, like, Apex is interesting because while it's a stat dial one, it changes the gameplay loop. Now leveling is what you want to do, not anything else. Perfectionist is still leveling, but like you want to now kind of play to the advantage of having a constant EXP stream while you have full health and haven't take damage. So you want to have a build that's like not going to get you taking damage. This one again, you want to kill enemies. So you want like you'll do this with a frontline character that really likes that idea. Or it's just an extra thing that you get as a bonus. This one, reduce speed, but area and pickup range get increased. There's a lot of characters that's good on, but there's a lot of characters that's going to probably be quite bad on, because they're already quite slow, or that they're really good at being fast, and are sucky when they're slow. Then you get these ones, which, yeah, I mean, this is probably the most impactful of the lot of them, of these ones, because it isn't a stat increase, it's a level increase. You get something additional at the start of the game. 100 health is 100 health. It's, sure, you're not going to die as easily, but more experience. I mean, that's going to be more spicy. And then Priestess Milk, more armor. Woohoo, I have a little bit more armor. The game has changed so much. I'm just a little bit more tanky. Like, I'm trying to think of ones that I can do even if they're gonna be difficult to accomplish. Spatula. Start with a spatula. Wow, really cool fucking borders. I love that there's 2 of those. Support animal. I think some of these have gotten changed. This is the thing. Oh, we could actually do like a trainer golem idea, right? Where it's like you get an ally that also gets a random weapon or something. How do I want to do that? Levels. There we go. I think that's an interesting idea. Get an ally that has your assist's weapon equipped. It levels the weapon every 5 player levels. I think that would be a cool idea. But before it's asked, oh, how the hell do you plan on doing that? There is actually really simple ways to do that, especially once we keep transitioning the systems like we have. Because what I will basically be doing is copying stuff from the player and making a weak version of a player. We're going to use it with the multiplayer stuff, so we're probably not going to do it until next update, but it's something to work on. Vendors, support, yeah, okay. What's another game that has, like, interesting modifiers? Like, I swear more games had these systems, but I can't fucking remember them. Right? Actually, you know what I want to look up? I want to look up, Brotato. Yeah, Brotato. I'm sure there's a wiki for this, right? We can just look through, like, items. Especially the legendary items, because they're gonna probably give us more of an idea. There's modding in Brotato? Kind of want to play that modded. Okay, let's look at rare ones. Random weapon is upgraded when entering a shop. If you have no weapons to upgrade, you gain +2 armor. That sounds fucking good as hell. What? Okay, no, seriously, that is actually, like, really good. Okay, that's an interesting one. Melee damage, range damage, armor, and speed. We could do the big arms idea. That's not too bad. Lifesteal. Plus 2% damage for every lifesteal you have. You take 1 damage per second. Does not give you invulnerability time. I actually like that. No. Seriously. I like this idea. Because there's a way to do this that's really wacky and counteracts the worry I might have. So, heal for portion of damage dealt. Damage, yeah, heal for portion of damage dealt, but health regen is inverted. So you don't want health regeneration. Or like base health regeneration. So my reasoning with that is that stops Iron Mouse from breaking the game. Because that punishes her so fucking much. But it creates an interesting as fuck build with her. That I'm sure would be insanely good. But like it's interesting. So there's gonna have to be a value I have to flick that switch. If I must. Also, I'm gonna have to potentially disappear for like 5 minutes or something in a moment. Just because I've got something arriving that I need to go sort out. Oh, I actually like that idea. That's actually really funny. Dude, I feel this. I have a degree. Do I get like -50 health from that? That's right. Gain HP regeneration for permanent minus speed you have. Gain max health. Minus a bunch of speed. The thing is, I don't really have minus stats in the game. So this would be cool and interesting, but it would need to introduce more minus stats. Also regen, negative lifesteal, but a bunch of stats. Not bad. Damage. I mean, we could have that easily. We can have just increase area, reduce damage. Yeah, so there we go. Increase area by 40%, but reduce damage by 20%. That's a really powerful amount of stats you get early. Again, area scales way better than damage, and then knowing that as well, that there's only like 2 sources of area increase in the game, it's probably worth it. Spawns a turret, don't care. When you pick up a consumable while at max health. I could could do something for that. Actually. If pick, no, that's right, I fucking forgot about that card. There's that thing in Swarm where it was like when you picked up the the health things, you just get a health regen permanently. I just do that. That makes a lot of sense. Crits hit deal 10% of the enemy's current health as bonus damage. Eesh. Okay. Gain max health at the end of the wave, health regen, and life. I love this fucking thing. This one's fun as hell. Plus 2 for luck. Health regen every 5 seconds until the end of the wave, but minus luck. Potato. Everything. Health regen is doubled when you have less than 50% health. Plus 3 regen. Actually, I like that idea. But not quite that potent. Let's try 40% at below 30% health. But I can make that like a fairly low end modifier. Max health. Restore plus 4 health per second. Cannot heal any other way. Wait, okay, my question on that is, when it says cannot heal any other way, does that mean you can only heal via this plus 4 health? Yeah, because it's not health regen. It's only plus 4 health per second. Ah, okay. It's an interesting one. Alright, so that's all the legendaries, which is probably the ones that I actually want to look at, or the rarity 4s, I should say. I mean, that gave us a lot of ideas. So, if there's any game like this that has these sorts of systems in there, let me know, because I will pull them from, pull inspiration for potential modifier ideas. That's interesting. Yeah. Okay. Actually, looking at the time, I'm gonna just call it here for today. Because I haven't actually got that much other stuff to really be working on. And I kind of want to slow down at the moment. Oh, been playing a lot of Hearthstone Battlegrounds in the background. Might do a stream about playing it at some point to relax. We'll see. But yeah, no, I think we'll call it there. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, you know what to do. But yeah, no. Game is very close to being done. Need to do some quick cleanup and tweaks. Some issues I know exist outside of those, I will fix them pretty quickly. That's, I think, it. So yeah, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. You're awesome, stay awesome, and I hope to see you again next time. Until then, bye-bye.